I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the very Cavallari After Show, Season 3, Episode 4. We've got a great show for you guys tonight. Brittainy is moving on, and she is moving on quick. Justin and Scoot, are they having some cold feet? And Kristin, will her store open in time? We're going to dive into all that. Plus, we got our special segment, Like a Boss. We got some news and predictions. But first, I am Eric Sinsley. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I am good. To my left, we have the beautiful fashionista, Ebony.
Hello.
And to her left, we have the reality show fiend, Miss Diamond. How are you?
I'm so good.
What did you guys think of tonight's episode?
Like, not boring, but not super exciting. So I don't know what other words. What do I say? How do I say this nicely?
I liked it. I liked the episode. I thought it had a few gems. It was funny. We got to see Kristin's mom. She told some funny stories, and we really got to dive into Kristin's past a little bit.
Yeah.
So I thought that was fun because I grew up watching Laguna Beach and The Hills, so it was boom, so it's I enjoyed hearing those little extra tidbits and stories and whatnot.
Yeah, it was great to reminisce on her Laguna Beach days, and the Diamond is going to dive into that more with some news later, so stick around for that. Let's go ahead and start with Brittainy, who got stretched out tonight.
Stretched thin.
Eric!
And let's keep it PG, so it's clear that she has moved on. Or she's putting off that energy that she has moved on from Stone, and she is being set up.
Okay, but can I tell you that what I predicted last week about her situation and her single life came true, okay?
Wait, remind us of your prediction.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, so my prediction was she's going to go out in the single life and she's going to find a guy, she's going to start dating him, and then he's going to do something stupid, and she's going to be all messed up about it because she's newly single and she has these high hopes and then discovers whatever. But
that's so funny because last week I felt I totally disagreed. I was she's gonna have fun, the single life is fun, she's gonna have a good time. But we do see in the next preview of the episode that she is kind of still struggling with, she does have baggage that she's dealing with.
And he has a little something extra that we didn't know in this episode. Anyways, I'm just saying I'm most likely right.
I don't know. When Brittainy put her arms up she was about to do a tricep dip onto the high top bar and was sitting on top where we thought she was going to have a body shot taken off of her.
Right.
But I'm all right, this girl knows how to flirt, and I'm just thinking, poor Stone.
Really? You guys, honestly, I felt the entire, that whole scene of, her, meeting her friend, I felt first of all, what is wrong with your friend? Why do you not think, he's cute. I thought her friend was so
the best
cute.
friend that she would never, ever date.
Nick.
Yeah.
Nick, he was so cute. I was what's wrong with him? And he seems good head on his shoulders, seems like a really nice guy. Maybe nice guys do finish last. I don't know.
Yeah,
but he just seemed very sweet. I was what's wrong with him?
But she thinks Stone is attractive, so she has no gauge for...
Right. She thinks Stone is attractive. She's and then when she met PJ...
I don't think she does. I think it was one of those things where maybe I think she fell in love with Stone maybe because of he could sing or his talent, or maybe she was turned on by that.
Yeah.
And then, you just grow to love someone.
Yeah.
I don't think and I could be wrong, but, opposites attract. And
4 years ago, he could have been looking completely different too. We don't know.
Yeah. Maybe he's got he's got a little
I should
beer.
look up some
a little dad weight. I don't know, a little relationship weight.
But for the viewers and the outsiders looking in, she is definitely. Don't crucify me, guys, but she is more attractive than he is.
Totally.
Okay. All right. I'm glad you have my back on that.
I have your back on that. I will defend you to the end, Eric, on that. But I thought, even the whole interaction with PJ, for me, I felt oh my gosh, what's going on? Her friends are really wild. They were take a body shot right now.
I love it.
What? This is your first time meeting someone, and I know that she's just having fun, so, like, maybe that's why they threw that in there.
And obviously we're not drunk, and they're probably a little tipsy, so they're, I was
like,
no.
wow, that was super intense. Like, I'm not going to be volunteering myself to be taking body shots off of, like, that's just so not my style. So I was kind of like, okay, like, her friends are wild.
Hey, it gives us hope for, I don't know how old you guys are yet, but it gives us hope for our 30s.
No, totally.
Right? We can party until we're 40 if we want.
Right. We can party till life is over.
We can party till the day we die.
Amen. Yeah. Okay, I want to party all the time.
Did you find any old photos of Stone?
No.
All right. Maybe we'll find some for next week and we'll put some up and we'll touch back on that.
We'll see the progression of Stone.
Yes. So question for you guys. Are you guys part of Bachelor Nation?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so my boyfriend has
tried.
been super into it, and he got me into it, which is like totally unlike him because he's not like, I don't know, he's like so logical and like dude-like. So, but he turned me onto it, the season with the Virgin. Yeah.
That was like Chris? What's his name?
2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago.
Oh, Colton.
Colton, yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me stop lying. I was like, Chris. Knew it started with the C.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, there we go.
I am not an avid viewer of the show, but I keep up with the
pop culture.
Yeah, so if you guys did not pick up on it, when Brittainy moved into her apartment tonight, Caitlin Bristow was one of her friends, and she was the infamous bachelorette who was slut-shamed and kind of was a pioneer, if you will, for standing up for women.
Really?
For being able to, you know what, I can have sex and I'm not a slut.
So she had sex on the show and that's why they slut-shamed her?
Yes.
But don't they all?
Yeah, but she was the first one to say it.
Oh, she said it out loud. Okay.
So,
like, don't judge me.
So our hats always go off to you, Caitlin, and it was great seeing you tonight. All right, why don't we talk about... Well, first of all, let's just answer this briefly. Do you guys think... Or should I say, how soon is too soon to move on from your ex, especially if you're in a deep, long-lasting relationship, or is it just circumstantial? Do you guys have any opinions on that?
Well, so do you mean move on like proceed moving on? Oh, that, that has to happen.
It's healthy, right?
You have to, I think you have to do it just because it is a scary shift to be going from being in a serious relationship to living alone. And so you need, like she said, she needs her friends and her support. And the best thing to do is to just get your mind off everything and put yourself out there. I don't know about like instantly starting to like date somebody because I've done that, and of course, and it looks like Brittany's doing that, and that turns into like your hopes are so high, you're not really yourself, you're really unbalanced, like there's just a lot of chaos emotionally going on. So you should really kind of keep your distance with dating.
Yeah. But
being single in the sense of like I can do whatever I want, I can go with my girlfriends and I don't have to worry about coming home to a guy or like worrying about his needs. That stuff is good to immediately snap into and start getting used to. But yeah,
I think it depends. Funny how like when you're in a serious relationship sometimes, and then you're like, okay, we broke up, whatnot. Isn't it funny how like I feel like those are the same people that like find themselves in like a situation like Brittainy, right? Like he seems to be available and kind of asking those questions like, what about your ex? Let me, what's going, are you ready for a relationship, right? We kind of see a little preview to that. So she kind of ran into someone who's not looking to just have a good time, but someone who maybe wants more of a serious relationship. And to go back to your question, I think they always say like how many months to like she was dating him for 4 years, so it takes just like twice as long to get over, or half the time. Is it half the time to get over? So 2 years, right? So I mean,
emotionally, and to really like see yourself not needing that person or seeing a future without them, that starts to happen. Like
but I mean, like we kind of see in the previews, if Stone is dating someone else, I think that also pushes you a little bit more to kind of be like, well, F you. You know what I'm saying?
Or it could make you go the opposite direction and want the person back because you
miss them, and you're like, everything that you're experiencing with him, I experienced, and I want it back.
And it's jealousy and ego and a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Well said. I agree with everything you guys said, and we want to know what you guys think. How soon is it, or is it too soon, to move on from someone and let us know what you guys think. We want to know what you think.
Yes, please. Below in the comments, let us know. We love to talk to you guys about our opinions and this lovely show, Very Cavallari. Yes. Thank you so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk. If you are not able to watch us, you can always listen to us on Spotify and on iTunes, and make sure you give us that 5-star rating. And please, again, like, subscribe, and comment.
Yeah, guys, we love reading your comments, so keep that up. All right, let's move on to Justin and Scoot. It seems like they're moving along quite quickly with their quest to Nashville. And so if you guys don't know, which you probably do, Justin is a hairstylist here in Los Angeles, and they're going to move to Nashville. And Scoot, I don't know what Scoot does.
I think he's a model or something.
Okay.
Maybe.
He looks very young, doesn't he?
something.
How much younger is Scoot from Justin? Because they look like Scoot looks very young.
Yeah,
He looks like 17. Not that he is, right? But he
Probably
looks like he just
10
looks
years,
so young.
maybe 8 years.
Yeah, so I think their whole predicament right now, especially for Scoot, is the going back and forth being bi-coastal because they want to move to Nashville. Could you guys do that? Like, could you, especially, I mean, let's say you've established yourself, like Justin has established himself, has a huge clientele of famous women and men where he does their hair, and so he has the funds,
A built-in,
the resources where he can go back and forth. But do you guys think that'd be taxing on your relationship? Would you do that? Would you not push for moving to Nashville? Would you stay here? Let's say you're 10 years out, like where he is.
Well, you know, I'm gonna just bring it back to my first relationship. Not my first, but the one relationship in my past where I was absolutely head over heels for this guy, and he was absolutely head over heels for me. And there was an option for me to move out there, and I was, you know, considering jobs and like just starting to think in that way.
Where were you gonna move?
Chicago.
Oh wow.
Funny, right? And so, and even my intense like infatuation or love or whatever it was at that time with him, even with that, I was still weary of moving my life because what if I couldn't find a good friend group? What if I couldn't find a job? What if he and I didn't get along, or like we you know, and it was just like more dysfunction between us. You know, like there was a lot of these fears in me, even though I was so in love with him, and it seems like these two are very in love with each other. So I mean, I don't know if I would, because I didn't then. I definitely wouldn't. I mean, since I'm in a relationship now and he had to move, it would take me a while to consider even moving, because you know, I don't know. I think I have my life, you know, and I think I have my own goals, and so it's really hard for me to like just go do something. And I don't know if Scoot does have his own life and his own goals in that sense. So
they haven't really shown that side of him yet.
Yeah, but I do understand his fear, even though there is that love there.
He needs some kind of commitment, is what it seems like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's understandable. I don't know if they were living together in LA. I kind of have the feeling or like sense that they were.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's like maybe that's not an adjustment, but the new adjustment is like you're far away from each other. So it's like if Justin's out of the house working and you guys are both in LA, then it's like whatever, you come home when you come home. I still see you every night. But if, you know, you're long distance is a very difficult thing to do. I had my little stint with it for a half a second. It didn't work out. But it's very complicated to do a long distance. There's a lot of trust that has to go into it. And Scoot, not that he's questioning Justin's like commitment or like trust, but like he feels like at any point in time, if I'm going to uproot my life and move here and do all these things for us, are you doing it for us or are you doing it for me? I think Justin is like struggling with that too.
Right. And on going off that, Justin did say, and quote, buying the huge house is the priority.
Right, before marriage, which is like almost like a marriage when you buy a house with somebody.
Right.
Well, I don't think, for me personally, I don't think the fact that they want to buy a house before marriage is off-settling, but the fact that he threw in the huge house, like it seems like his priorities, they're not off, but they're just different. Like maybe why didn't he say like, you know, ensuring my relationship is ready for this is my priority, and then the house. Why is the house?
Yeah, it seems very selfish. This
a
purchasing
little
of the house.
superficial, just a little bit, and I'm not sure that's what he's intending.
No, I think that's pretty astute, because when he said that and just how he said it, it was just like, well, that's such a big commitment. So I'm wondering why you're not seeing it equal to at least marriage. And you're right. Why? What about? Don't you want to establish something in the relationship, like some deeper commitment or some sort of understanding before you do something like that? I mean, maybe they do have it.
I feel like in Scoot's position, from what my point of view, is that his job, whatever his jobs is, it doesn't matter. But Justin seems to be the one, obviously, like you said, established. So he's the one that's traveling. He's the one that's making the most money, I would assume. And he's kind of like, Scoot's kind of like the housewife, you know? So I feel like, and it becomes kind of like an insecurity to be like, I'm going to have to cook, clean, and then you might just get up and leave me one day. And there's no like, and Justin's kind of like, well, I'm not going to leave you. I'm here to stay. We're together. And that's what he's feeling. But Scoot's kind of like, well, I don't feel like you want to get married. I don't feel like, you know, you're nervous about buying this house. And there's no security. And
that for me, I feel like people, men and women both can ruin a relationship by saying, this is what I need in order to feel secure, which is usually a commitment. Like, we need to be boyfriend and girlfriend, or we need to be married. And I think that really just ruins the flow of things. I think if you have your own life and you know you can move somewhere else if that's what you want to do and establish yourself, like have that confidence, which is something I wasn't sure I had at the time either, so I get it. But now I do, like I know that I'm so established. Like if you can have that, then there shouldn't be a worry that somebody's going to up and leave you, because you're making the decision to do it and try it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But to put the responsibility of the whole relationship on this person and say, I need this commitment, or what if you leave me, or what if, you know, it's off-putting and it could scare people. And I think Justin's feeling that a little bit. And he's not meaning to. He's just like, just say those magical words. Like, just say those magical words. Scoot is wanting to hear these things, but I think people like in Scoot's position need to be careful with like pushing or not, or, you know, just expecting or needing that type of comfort, when in reality, just go with the flow, see what you can do, establish yourself in another state with a job or friends or whatever, and like just live your life as well, because you can't be that house husband and then be waiting,
having high expectations of something that's not realistic.
Yeah, you both have to be your own people, and that's.
And I feel something they didn't reveal, and I think money has a big factor, big influence on this kind of move. If they're splitting this house half and half financially, then that could play in part of how they're feeling about the move as well.
Well, I think if they're splitting half and half, that almost is your security.
Right.
Yeah. So it may not be the case.
I wish they would have told us that.
Yeah. I think it's probably not the case. I mean.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be Justin buying the house and he's moving in and they're together. And so essentially it's theirs, but not technically.
I mean, it depends on whose name's on the deed, though. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, Justin could be like, babe, this is our house. This is for us. This is what we're going to do. Live forever here. Put your name, like, we're going to have both of our names on the deed. Like, that could also have been a discussion, too.
Yeah. Do you guys think that this is a good move for Scoot and Justin? Let us know. All right, let's move on and talk about Kristin and Jay. They went to Chicago to check out the second store that's being built. Kristin is freaking out. Well, I guess she's not really freaking out.
She's like calm, cool, and
she's making us freak out.
Right.
That the store is not going to be ready in time. Guys, do you think the store is going to be ready in time? Is this just part of
I just want to know the timeline. I want to know, like, what day it is when she went there, and then what is the actual timeline, so that I can at least have an educated guess. I think it will be. I think.
Yeah, it's Kristin Cavallari.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what are they going to not have?
Their faces are on TV now. Like, they cannot mess up.
Right.
Yeah. But by the attire that they were wearing, it seems like it might be summertime, maybe early fall in Chicago. So Kristin said she wanted the store open by the holidays because that's big selling season. So that means...
But before winter, right? Didn't you say?
Right, yeah. So that's
Maybe
it's
4th
quick.
of July.
That's quick, but she's a ball buster, so
Yeah.
I think it'll get done, and I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah.
Right.
Something I found very interesting and pretty surprising was that Kristin, and correct me guys how you feel about this, allowing Jay to have that bracelet, that men's bracelet, the first men's piece. Mm-hmm. Do you think she's including him because she feels bad he has nothing to do?
I think there's a little bit of that because
She did kind of mention that, right?
she did kind of mention that, but
she always
also,
kind of like throws it in his face, like a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I make fun of him a little bit. But I mean, I feel like he's kind of a ball buster too. So
Yeah.
imagine how much crap he was giving her before.
Yeah, and when she was having to stay home with the kids, like what that dynamic was like. So she's kind of not feeling like the remorse or anything. She's not feeling guilty for like her, this. I definitely think, yes, there is a little piece of like, let's give him something to do, but also like she said, her company's in a really good place where she can start branching out and adding these little like pieces to her collection, and they might have talked about it before, or he, and so it's now finally it's workable. So, but yeah, maybe a little.
Yeah, but I like the partnership. I always like, a
I do
good
too.
like husband-wife duo. It's
so
time
good.
to like spend time together, do things together, be creative, to share in something that your partner's interested in. I think is always such a good, to have your own thing, but then to be interested, right? So it's like she couldn't necessarily play football, but it's like, she probably was like interested in what was going on, being teammates with being, friends with the wives and hanging out and like creating a family in a sense. And then for her to now have her own company and him kind of participating, because he is her sounding board. So it's kind of like, it's nice to see that.
Yeah, and look, it's only one piece. She's already put millions and millions of dollars into this Uncommon James. So if the piece doesn't do well, then
it's one thing.
it's nothing off her back, you know?
And he also did design, didn't he help her design
Some of the kid stuff.
Oh, yeah, you're
the
right.
little vest thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little James?
Little James, yeah.
I want to quickly touch on this because this was probably one of my favorite parts of tonight's episode, was when they're reminiscing on her Laguna Beach days, and then prior to that, her middle school days. And she sounds like quite the rebel. As a kid, she was arrested. She was drinking in 8th grade. So was I.
I know. I'm like, who wasn't and who didn't get arrested?
Really quick.
What? Did you guys hear this?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
She said over here talking about who didn't get arrested.
Have you guys not been arrested?
Not in middle school.
Really? Oh, well. Not in middle school. When did I get arrested? I got arrested when I was 20. Yeah.
All right.
I cannot.
In a middle school, she got arrested?
Yeah, it was probably like juvie. But real quick, Diamond, tell me your most scandalous middle school rebellious moment.
Oh my God.
Memory. If you need a moment to think, I can go because I got a great one.
Yeah,
Okay,
go.
Okay.
Jinx.
And I just revealed this to my parents over Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
Compliments to being a little under the influence.
Yes.
Stop it.
And two of my best friends, we used to drive around like Kristin, my parents' car. My mom had just gotten a brand new Beamer.
Oh no.
It was like 3 days old.
She let you drive it?
No.
Oh, you
They
stole.
would go out and we would drive it around the neighborhood and maybe take it across the street to my middle school.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
How old were you?
I was
like
in
12.
8th grade.
Oh my
Like
I was
12?
12, 13.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I have a friend in the front seat, a friend in the back seat, and my friend left the back door open, and I'm backing the car out, and the door completely like dislocates, goes the
Yeah.
other way, like it makes this horrifying noise.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looked awful.
Yeah.
So long story short, we had to come up with a plan, and what we said was to my parents that my friend was riding my motorized scooter, fell off, and hit their head in the side of the door.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But the door was off.
No, the door was not off,
stayed-
they had to replace the door. It was an $8,000 door.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 'Cause it was
$8,000?
it was
a
the whole-
Beamer!
It was the whole door. Like the inside too.
The
It was-
insurance didn't cover it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I
They
didn't-
probably just said it like, ah.
So anyways, that's my story.
my
If you
gosh.
guys have, we're kind of running down on time. We're talking a lot tonight. We got a lot to say.
Okay, well, the craziest thing that I ever did, well, not middle school, but in high school, this is not even crazy, you guys, but my god sister and I, we really wanted to go to this party in LA, and so we were at my dad's house, and so basically we told this like crazy lie to be like, we know the person that's throwing the party, it's her friend's friend, and this, that, and the third, and we came up with this whole thing, and she ended up spending the night at my house, and so I think pretty sure we got dropped off because I don't think Uber was like a thing back then, and so right, it wasn't. So we get dropped off at the party, but like we lied our butts off to get. Like, we lied to her mom, my dad, my stepmom. Like, we literally told crazy lies. And then we got to the party. It was, like, the most fun we've ever had, mind you. We grew up in Burbank, so this is, like, our first L.A. party, okay? It was the most fun. It was the 4th of July weekend. The windows were fogged up. Like, I mean, people were dancing. It was super hot.
Like condensation-y,
yes,
like fog, like breath?
Smelled like skunk, right? Because everyone is, like, dancing around.
Oh.
Yes, weed, that too. Hair, like, all over your head because you're sweating so much. And we had the best time. And yeah, that was my story.
Did you get busted?
Awesome.
We did not get busted. I just told it myself. We did not get busted.
That's amazing.
I didn't get busted either.
That's,
15, about like what, 12, 15 years later, I told my
what
parents.
did your mom even say?
They were laughing their asses off at the Thanksgiving table.
That's hilarious. That's good. That's good.
But like they were like shaking their head but laughing.
Yeah.
You know? Do you have
they
one
can
for
laugh
us?
about it now. So like I had a lot of freedoms as a kid, so I was never like having to like sneak
so
around
much.
and my mom, she let me like drive at 11. Like she was like I could do anything. So
Oh wow.
So I don't know. I think my more rebellious years came when I got out of high school, and like it wasn't necessarily rebellious, just like being wild and drunk and
Young, wild, and free?
young, wild, and free, and just hot and skinny. You know, you could do a lot. You could do a lot with that. So I did. I made sure to
skinny.
do a lot of damage. I definitely. So one story, and I wasn't in middle school, and I won't go into detail, but I worked at Hooters for 6 years, and I was getting drunk with a couple friends that came from Grand Junction. I'm from Colorado, and so I was just getting drunk at work, and long story long, I accidentally maced the whole restaurant.
Oh no!
And so people were coughing, their noses were bleeding, people were throwing up in the bathroom. There was like $500 in walkouts, and that's a lot of money for Hooters foods, like $10 wings.
Yeah.
And
I love Hooters.
I almost got fired. I didn't show up to like my meeting the next day, and then I didn't show up to work the next day, and so they had to like fire me. But I was in the calendar, so they couldn't let me stay gone for long. But yeah.
Oh my
God, that's awesome.
And I was the only one not affected. I was like standing there like, oh my God. I thought it was perfume. It was like this cute little pink thing. And I went to spray it on myself and it shot out and sprayed one of my coworkers in the eyes. And it just, hell
awesome.
broke loose. And then they opened the patio door and like the air came and just like wafted it all over.
Oh, it's like you bombed the place.
I bombed the place bad.
Oh my God.
My God, that is the funniest thing.
You guys at home, tell us your most scandalous, rebellious middle school story. We would love to hear it. And with that, can you please take us into our special segment?
Yes. Okay. Like a boss, you guys. So we're going to be talking about who bossed up in this episode. So I will go first.
Okay.
I'm picking Scoot. And the reason why I'm picking Scoot, Justin's boyfriend, is because he kind of bossed up to Justin and kind of stood up for himself, saying and telling him what he needed in his relationship, what he felt was necessary for them to, continue to move on. I mean, right now I kind of feel like they're at this standstill. So, someone needs to put up or shut up, So
Yeah.
Congratulations on Scoot for being a boss.
Like a boss, a diamond. What you got?
I'm definitely going to do Kristin Cavallari because I freaking love her. By the way, her interviews were hilarious. She's just so funny. She's so witty. Like, what did she say? The slob
kebab.
Slob kebab. I'm stealing it. # slob kebab because I know how to do that real well. But her boss up moment was her just going down to Chicago. First of all, having Jay come with her, and then her going down there and able to talk to those the contractor guys and just really like make sure they know that this needs to be open. Whatever they need to do, it needs to happen. I could tell they were kind of like, yeah, it's a big job, and trying to walk themselves out of having to do the deadline kind of thing. And she was like, I don't care what you have to do, just make it happen.
Get it done.
And I loved that. And she didn't, and her husband's right there, and they have that comfortability where she's not afraid to be that strong person, and he's okay with her being that strong person. And she just bossed up in that moment and was telling other people to get the job done.
Totally.
Don't take the job if you can't get it done. Yeah.
Well said.
Eric?
Teeing off of kind of what you said, my boss moment is definitely going to Mr. Cutler tonight, Jay. I just thought the fact that he went to Chicago to see the second store, to be there to support his wife, I just thought that was a boss move.
That is a huge boss. I really
Especially
like
for
that.
Jay, because
Yeah.
he's a little quiet.
Yeah. And I think that's the most that you can do as a house husband. He's not really, but kind of, or a housewife or anybody, is to just really support your partner and not make it a dramatic thing and not make it about you and, give that support. And for him to travel and go there, that's a boss up move. I like that. Yeah.
All right, well, we quickly reminisced on the Laguna Beach days, but Miss Diamond is going to take us into some deeper Laguna Beach with some news.
Yes, you guys. Okay, so I was watching an interview with Fast Company that Kristin did, and she admits to a reporter that she knew what she was doing when she was filling out the MTV application for Laguna Beach back in high school. And basically, she answered one of the questions that said, who would you pick to be prom queen and why or whatever? And she said, I don't care who makes prom queen as long as it's not Lauren Conrad. And so
shots fired.
Shots fired. Not only is this a boss up move, but she wanted to be on the show, and she knew exactly what she had to do in order to do that, and that was to create some sort of friction or drama between another person in school.
Pretty smart.
She got on the show. I mean, and to be able to admit that was not shady or schemy, but it was just a method to get to where she wanted to go, and she wasn't afraid to do it. That I just fucking love that. She just has so much of that in her, and it's so admirable.
She's been a boss since day one.
Yeah,
Day
but
one,
funny thing is I really feel like, just even listening to her talk, I don't feel like she ever knew. I don't think, when you're on a reality show, I don't think you ever know what it's going to be like.
Especially when you're an adolescent.
Yeah, exactly. Especially you're 16, 17, 18,
You just know
whatever.
you want
You're just
something.
this is going to be fun. I want to be on it. And who knew it was going to be what it was? Because it became a huge sensation. Everyone loved Laguna Beach / the Hills.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And everybody loved her for the confrontation that she brought.
Well, that's so funny because I was always # team Lauren Conrad.
I can't stand her.
She's
too
team
nice.
LC.
I'm always into a villain. I'm always into a
You
little
were
bitch.
into her too, into Kristin.
Kristin, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, she's
Who
so
doesn't
annoying.
love a sassy girl like that?
I don't know. I wasn't into her.
You're
I
like,
was
she's
Lauren
mean.
Conrad. Lauren Conrad all the way.
Elsie, okay. Casey over here.
All right, guys. I'm kind of tired from all that. That was a lot.
I have a stomach ache. I don't know why.
I want some hot chicken.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, or what was the other thing?
Help you
Peanut
guys
butter
check-
chicken. Peanut butter chicken.
I wonder what the heck
I
was
don't
that.
even know what that is. Her mom, when they went to visit the mom.
Ew,
Peanut butter chicken.
that sounds
It
awful.
doesn't really sound
don't
that great.
know.
I don't even know what that is. If it was Thai peanut butter,
Maybe that's peanut butter sauce chicken. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
But that's not what it sounded like to me.
They just jiffy
All
up.
right,
and-
these two have lost their minds over it. I'm not putting peanut butter with my chicken or jelly or nothing.
Or jelly.
Let's
the hot
talk
chicken.
about our predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV
Diamond.
predictions.
Okay, so you know that I said she's gonna have this issue with the boy in her single life, blah blah.
Who? Brittainy?
Brittainy. I always want to call her Beth. She looks like a Beth, doesn't she?
She could
more
pass for a
boring,
Beth.
kind of. So I think that I think what's gonna happen is that the guy may actually be single, and it may have been a close relationship because. Why would he say, I want to take you on a date first? First of all, I don't like the whole going on a date at the gym. I would not fucking do that. Not a date.
What if you overstretch and pass gas on your first
Or
date?
yeah, or what if I don't know. It's just
Because you're sweaty and hot.
and her flirting is just
It's
awkward
really
to me.
weird, right? But
Yeah, it's
wore
too much. She's dead staring at his eye
She wore makeup to the gym, and for me, if I was actually going to work
Did
out
she?
with someone, yeah, she did. I wouldn't be doing that.
Called out.
Called out.
Shots
All
fired.
right, I've been A. Give me a prediction.
Oh, prediction. I am going to say that Justin is going to step up and get engaged to Scoot. Or I
You
don't know.
took my prediction.
Engaged? Okay.
Yeah, because yeah.
Okay.
You agreeing with me?
All right, I'll give you.
Okay, we've been on the same
I'll
page
give
tonight.
you the cred
Yes.
because you said it first, but I also do think that Scoot and Justin are going to get engaged. At first, I thought that they might break up, but then I looked at their Instagram and
They're still
still together. So, you guys, that's all of our time tonight. We had a great time.
We did. I had a great time.
Miss a Diamond, where can our AfterBuzzers find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at NotYourType, and that's NOT_YUR_TYPE.
Yes, then you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at EbonyChapman12.
And you guys can find me on all social media at Eric Sinsley. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for watching.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.